Hi there. In this video, let's have a look at how we draw critical path networks. In particular, how we draw critical path networks from a precedence table. This is our precedence table, and we've got a series of tasks. We've got 7 tasks here. So what we do is we identify a starting node. And from here, we notice that task A has no precedence. What that means is that task A has to go first. We draw task A. The nodes represent when a task has finished. We then notice that tasks B and C both have a precedence of task A. So let's launch B and C after A. This shows that A has finished, and it shows that B and C, the tasks, go afterwards. We then notice that D happens after C. So let's now finish C off, and we'll start task D. And we notice that E has a precedence of both B and C. So E has a precedence of both B and C. So what we need to do is let's draw a dummy link. I did it in a dash there. This is where task E is going to go. There we go. And task F happens after task D. So we'll finish off task D there. Task F happens here. And task G happens after both F and G. So we can finish both of these off. We'll put a node there. And task G happens at the very end. And then we can identify our finish. So we've got our starting point and we've got our finishing point here. The arcs, or the arrows, are representing the activities. The nodes, which is the dots there, those there are representing when an activity has started and finished. Notice that the dummy link that I drew, which was a dashed line, shows that E can only begin after both B and C has finished. But we drew the dummy link because D has a precedence task of only C. Let's draw another one. In this next one here, we've got a few more extra tasks. So we're going to always go with our starting point. And we notice that A is the only task that has no precedence. So that's going to go first. I then notice that B, C, and D all have a precedence of task A. So we're going to launch them together. Then I notice that E has a precedence of both B and C. Interesting. But we also know that F has a precedence of C and D. Wow, this is really interesting. So why don't we stop C there? Why don't we stop D there, and we do a dummy link down from C there to D, and we could always launch F across here, and then let's do a dummy link up to here, and we can go there. There we go. That's where task E goes. And we notice that G has a precedence of task E. So let's go G there. And we notice that H has a precedence of both F and G. So we can launch that there, that there. Excellent. And so this is where H will go. H goes there. And there is our finish. So this here is the process of critical path network diagram. That is what we have done there. We've drawn our critical path network diagram. Notice some of the key things is that we've labeled it, and we have included arrows to show the directions of the activities. This shows the precedence tasks, and it shows the flow in which these tasks need to be completed. Once we get some information about time, we could then work out what the critical path is, which is the series of tasks which take the longest throughout the network. So thanks for tuning in and learning a bit about critical path network diagrams, and I trust that's been helpful. Thanks.